Your mind is not just a tool for thinking, it is the architect of your reality. Every thought you have sends a signal to your brain, influencing how you feel, how you act, and ultimately what you attract into your life. The patterns of thinking you engage in daily create a feedback loop between your mind and your external world. If you constantly focus on limitations, obstacles, and fears, your brain reinforces those patterns, making them your default reality. On the other hand, if you consciously train yourself to think in terms of possibilities, growth, and abundance, you will begin to experience life through a completely different lens. The science behind this is clear. Neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you entertain a thought, you are strengthening neural connections in your brain. If you repeatedly think about failure, you are literally programming your brain to expect it. But the opposite is also true. If you discipline your mind to focus on success, resilience, and creativity, your brain adapts and starts seeking opportunities instead of obstacles. This is why people who consistently visualize their goals with clarity and emotion often find themselves naturally gravitating toward the circumstances and decisions that make those goals a reality. Your emotions play a crucial role in this process. Every thought generates a biochemical reaction in your body, producing feelings that either empower you or weaken you. If your thoughts are filled with stress, worry, and self-doubt, your body responds by releasing stress hormones, reinforcing the cycle of fear and inaction. But if your thoughts are filled with gratitude, confidence, and purpose, your brain releases chemicals that enhance focus, motivation, and well-being. Over time, this shift in internal chemistry changes not only how you feel, but also how you interact with the world. The key to disciplining your mind is to become deeply aware of the thoughts you entertain. Instead of letting your mind run on autopilot, reacting to old habits and past experiences, you must take conscious control. When a limiting belief arises, question it. When negativity creeps in, redirect your focus. This is not just positive thinking, it is a strategic rewiring of your brain to align with the reality you want to create. Most people wait for external circumstances to change before they allow themselves to think differently. They believe they'll feel successful once they achieve success, or they'll feel happy once they experience happiness. But the truth is, your external world is always reflecting your internal state. If you want to change what you see outside, you must first change what's happening inside. By disciplining your mind, by intentionally choosing thoughts that serve you rather than sabotage you, you take control of your destiny. Your reality begins with your thoughts. Choose them wisely. Most people live their lives repeating the past without even realizing it. The mind is a record of everything you've ever experienced, and if left unchecked, it will keep playing the same emotional and behavioral patterns over and over again. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, your brain recalls yesterday, your worries, your stresses, your routine, and if you immediately begin thinking and feeling the same way, you are biologically living in the past. You then go through your day making the same choices, reinforcing the same emotions, and expecting something to change. But nothing new can enter your life as long as you are mentally and emotionally anchored to what has already happened. Breaking free from the past requires you to recognize that your past does not define you. Only your attachment to it does. The memories and emotions that shaped you may feel real, but they are only as real as you allow them to be in this moment. If you keep revisiting old wounds, dwelling on past mistakes, or defining yourself by former failures, you are keeping those experiences alive in your present. The brain doesn't know the difference between what is happening now and what you vividly imagine. When you recall a painful memory, your body produces the same biochemical responses as if it were happening again. This means that by continuously reliving the past, you are literally conditioning your body to stay in a state of stress, fear, or regret. To truly move forward, you must become aware of the unconscious patterns controlling your life. Every thought, Every emotional reaction and every habit is either reinforcing your past or creating your future. If you want to break free, you have to stop being defined by the old story you keep telling yourself. The key is to interrupt the cycle, replace old thought patterns with new ones, shift your emotional state, and start behaving as the person you want to become, not as the person you've always been. This process requires discipline. It means catching yourself when you slip into old thinking, choosing to respond differently when familiar triggers appear, and consciously deciding to create new experiences instead of repeating old ones. It also means letting go of blame, resentment, and self-pity, because as long as you hold on to those emotions, you remain trapped in the past. Forgiveness, not just of others but of yourself, is a powerful tool for breaking free. You have the power to rewire your mind and body to no longer be addicted to past emotions. You have the ability to wake up every morning and make a new choice. The past only has power over you if you continue to give it your energy. The moment you decide to direct your focus toward the future you want to create instead of the past you want to escape, you take back control. True freedom begins the moment you stop identifying with who you were and start embracing who you are capable of becoming. Your attention is one of the most powerful tools you possess, yet most people allow it to be scattered, reactive, and hijacked by distractions. The truth is, whatever you focus on expands. If you constantly direct your attention towards stress, fear, and limitations, you will experience more of the same. But if you train your mind to focus on possibilities, solutions, and growth, you will begin to reshape your reality from the inside out. The human brain is wired to follow what you repeatedly focus on. When you give your energy to something, whether it's a goal, a problem, or an emotional state, you are strengthening neural pathways that make that focus a dominant part of your experience. This is why people who obsess over their limitations often find more reasons to feel stuck, while those who consistently envision success naturally move toward it. Your brain is designed to seek and reinforce whatever you give attention to, which means you must be intentional about where you direct your focus. Disciplining your attention requires breaking the habit of unconscious thinking. The average person spends much of their day lost in thought, reacting to whatever stimulus appears in front of them. They jump from one worry to the next, from social media to emails, from stress to distraction, never fully present, never fully in control. This kind of scattered focus weakens the mind and creates a state of mental and emotional exhaustion. But when you train yourself to focus deliberately on a vision, a task, or an emotional state, you strengthen your ability to shape your experience with intention. One of the most powerful aspects of focused attention is that it changes the chemistry of your brain and body. When you deeply concentrate on a positive outcome, your brain begins to create the internal conditions necessary to bring it to life. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. The more you focus on a desired future, the more your mind and body align with it. This is why elite athletes visualize their success before competing, and why the most successful individuals practice intense mental discipline. They understand that focused attention creates real-world results. But maintaining focus is not just about thinking positively, it's about developing the ability to hold your attention on something long enough for it to become embedded in your mind. This requires training. Just like a muscle, focus strengthens with practice. Meditation, visualization, and mindfulness are all powerful tools that enhance your ability to direct your attention rather than being pulled in 100 different directions. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to tune out distractions and concentrate on what truly matters. Mastering the power of focused attention means becoming the driver of your mind rather than a passenger. It means choosing where to place your energy instead of reacting to whatever appears in front of you. It means seeing past temporary obstacles and keeping your vision fixed on what you want to create. When you learn to control your focus, you learn to control your destiny. Your brain is not a fixed machine. It is a dynamic, ever-changing network of neurons that adapts based on your thoughts, behaviors, and experiences. This means you are not stuck with old habits, limiting beliefs, or emotional patterns. You have the power to rewire your brain for success. However, this process does not happen by chance. It requires deliberate effort, conscious repetition, and the discipline to break old neurological patterns while reinforcing new ones. Every time you think a thought, your brain fires a network of neurons. If you repeat that thought often enough, the connection between those neurons strengthens, making it easier for your brain to default to that pattern in the future. This is why people who constantly dwell on their fears and failures find it hard to break free, because their brains have been conditioned to expect and reinforce those emotions. But the same principle applies in the opposite direction. If you intentionally focus on thoughts of confidence, success, and resilience, your brain will begin to wire itself in alignment with those states of being. The key to rewiring your brain is consistency. You cannot expect to change deeply ingrained habits overnight, but with repetition, new neural pathways start to form. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool. When you repeatedly imagine a future version of yourself who is successful, capable, and confident, your brain begins to recognize that version as real. Over time, the gap between who you are now and who you want to become starts to close because your brain adapts to this new identity. Emotions play a critical role in this process. Thoughts alone are not enough to rewire the brain. They must be accompanied by elevated emotions like excitement, gratitude, and certainty. When you think about success but feel doubt or fear, your body remains chemically programmed to the old version of yourself. However, when you deeply feel the emotions of success, when you embody the confidence, joy, and excitement of already having what you desire, you are reinforcing those neural pathways even faster. One of the biggest obstacles in rewiring the brain is breaking free from familiar emotional addictions. Many people are unconsciously addicted to stress, anxiety, or self-doubt because their bodies have become chemically conditioned to those emotions. Even when they consciously want change, their subconscious mind pulls them back into old patterns. The only way to overcome this is through awareness and practice. Each time you catch yourself falling into an old emotional state, you have an opportunity to interrupt the cycle and choose a different response. This requires discipline, but with time, your brain adapts, and the old patterns lose their grip. Success is not just about external circumstances. It is about who you become internally. When you rewire your brain to expect success, to focus on solutions instead of problems, and to generate positive emotional states, regardless of external conditions, you set yourself on a path where success becomes inevitable. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. What once felt difficult, whether it's confidence, discipline, or resilience, eventually becomes your new default state. When you master the ability to rewire your brain, you gain control over your future. If you want to create a new reality, you cannot wait for external circumstances to change before you start thinking, feeling, and acting differently. Most people believe they will feel successful once they achieve success, feel confident once they prove themselves, or feel abundant once they have more money. But the truth is, your brain does not work that way. You must first become the person who already has the success, confidence, and abundance before those things physically manifest in your life. The key to transformation is embodying the future now, training your mind and body to experience the emotions, thoughts, and behaviors of your desired reality as if it were already happening. This is not wishful thinking. It is a powerful neurological process. The brain does not distinguish between a real experience and one vividly imagined with strong emotion. When you fully step into the identity of your future self, you begin to rewire your brain and condition your body to that new reality. Over time, this alignment between your internal state and your external desires creates the conditions for that reality to unfold. Your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are signals you send out into the world. If you constantly feel frustrated, unworthy, or stuck, you are reinforcing a version of yourself that attracts more of the same experiences. But when you wake up every day and commit to thinking, feeling, and acting like the person you want to become, you shift your energy and change the trajectory of your life. You stop waiting for permission and start living from a place of intention. You no longer operate as the old self tied to past habits. You step into the identity of your future self. This process requires awareness and discipline. The moment you catch yourself slipping into old thought patterns, you must remind yourself of the future you are creating. When challenges arise, instead of reacting as your past self would, ask, how would my future self handle this? Every time you make a decision, choose from the mindset of the person you aspire to be. When you do this consistently, you create new neural pathways, recondition your emotions, and change the way you show up in the world. Your body must also participate in this transformation. If you want to be confident, move confidently. If you want to be successful, carry yourself with the energy of success. Your physiology, posture, and even the way you breathe influence your state of being. By aligning your physical state with your mental and emotional vision, you reinforce the shift toward your new identity. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need evidence before they believe. But belief comes first, the evidence follows. When you fully embody the future now, you become magnetic to the opportunities, people, and circumstances that match your new state of being. Success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by becoming the version of yourself who is already living it. When you make this shift, life no longer happens to you, it happens through you, because you are finally in alignment with the reality you were meant to create. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every belief you hold shapes your actions, your experiences, and ultimately your destiny. If your mind is undisciplined, reactive, and conditioned by past experiences, your life will reflect that chaos. But if you learn to master your mind, to consciously direct your thoughts, regulate your emotions, and reshape your beliefs, you gain the ability to master every area of your life. Most people operate on autopilot, driven by subconscious programming they are not even aware of. Their thoughts are repetitive, their emotions are predictable, and their behaviors are automatic. They react to circumstances rather than creating them, and as a result, they feel stuck in patterns they don't know how to break. But the truth is, nothing external is holding them back. Only their own mind is. The same mind that created their limitations also has the power to dismantle them. The key is taking back control. Mastering the mind begins with awareness. You must become the observer of your thoughts rather than being controlled by them. Most people assume their thoughts are facts, but in reality they are just patterns, habits of thinking that have been reinforced over time. When you learn to step back and question your thoughts, you begin to break free from their grip. Instead of unconsciously reacting to fear, doubt, or negativity, you develop the ability to choose new, empowering thoughts that align with the reality you want to create. Emotionally, mastery comes from learning to regulate your state rather than being a victim of external triggers. Most people allow their emotions to dictate their actions, feeling powerless when circumstances don't go their way. But true mastery means developing the ability to generate emotional states from within. It means training yourself to remain calm in chaos, confident in uncertainty, and resilient in adversity. When you control your emotional state, you become unshakable, no longer at the mercy of your environment, but in control of how you respond to it. Your beliefs are the foundation of your reality, and mastering the mind requires questioning and reshaping the beliefs that no longer serve you. If you believe success is difficult, it will be. If you believe you are unworthy, you will act accordingly. But if you consciously adopt beliefs that support growth, abundance, and possibility, your actions will naturally align with those beliefs. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the smartest or the luckiest. They are the ones who have mastered their minds to see opportunities where others see obstacles. True mastery is not about suppressing thoughts or emotions. It is about developing the awareness and discipline to choose how you respond to them. It is about breaking free from the conditioning of the past and deliberately creating a future that aligns with your highest potential. When you master your mind, you master your actions. When you master your actions, you master your habits. And when you master your habits, you master your life. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, and every transformation begins in the mind. When you take control of it, you take control of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever possess. It has the ability to shape your reality, to free you from the past, to focus your energy, to rewire itself for success, and to create a future beyond what you've ever imagined. But the question is, are you in control of your mind, or is it in control of you? Most people live their lives trapped in unconscious cycles, waking up every day thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and repeating the same behaviors. They unknowingly recreate their past over and over again, believing that change is something that happens to them rather than something they create. But the truth is, your thoughts are not just reflections of your reality, they are the architects of it. What you consistently focus on becomes your experience. What you repeatedly believe becomes your truth, and what you emotionally rehearse in your mind is shaping your future at this very moment. If you want to change your life, you must first change your mind. You must discipline yourself to stop living by the emotions of the past and start aligning with the vision of your future. You must take control of your focus, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. You must rewire your brain to expect success, not failure, to embrace possibility, not limitation. And most importantly, you must become the person you wish to be now, before you see the results in the physical world. This is not just theory, it is science. The brain does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you consistently embody the thoughts, emotions, and actions of your future self, you recondition your mind and body to align with that reality. And when your internal state matches your desired external reality, the universe responds, doors open, opportunities arise. You no longer have to chase success, it finds you, because you are finally in alignment with it. But none of this happens by accident. It requires awareness. It requires discipline. It requires a conscious decision every single day to take control of your mind instead of being controlled by old habits. Mastering your mind means breaking free from the mental limitations that have kept you stuck, training yourself to focus on what truly matters, and stepping into the highest version of yourself before the evidence appears. So ask yourself, are you willing to take control of your thoughts, or will you let them control you? Are you willing to let go of the past and embrace the future you were meant to create? Are you ready to discipline your mind, not just for a day, not just when it's easy, but every moment, every decision, every breath? Because the moment you decide to master your mind is the moment you take control of your destiny. And when you do that, when you truly discipline your mind, nothing is impossible.